Hey family, welcome to How Love Works, where we talk about the principles for lasting love. Married at First Sight, Season 10, Episode 6. Well, time's up. Honeymoon's all over. It's time to get real. Time to get real, family. Well, we're going to wrap this thing up in a little bow. We're going to talk about a little bit of the meltdowns that we experienced on the last day of the honeymoon. Let's first start off with Mika and Michael. I'm going to go and say that Mika and Michael, they seem to have found a way to turn back toward one another. And I am very, very glad that they so far have been able to find a way to communicate in such a way so that there may be a possibility that this situation that they were experiencing, it might be used now as a means, a reference point, if you will, for any issues that they may end up dealing with going forward. And I think that's a good thing. I hope that they really learned something out of this last obstacle that they faced together, this emotional obstacle. At least I hope so. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed on Mika and Michael. The other two couples, the two younger ones, Austin and Jessica. I gotta admit, Austin and Jessica, I was pretty impressed with those two so far. They were one of the only couples that took a little time out to discuss some real grown-up information or grown-up topics that, they actually talked about religion. They actually talked about children. Those two items they often become deal breakers. And if you're not on the same page when it comes to children, because children are always deal breakers, when to have them, how many to have, and then of course religion. What religion are you going to bring? Excuse me. What religion are you going to bring your children up in, if you're going to do it at all? If the religions are different from one another, and how that's all going to play out in the family. I thought they so far handled that fairly well. So I have to give them, at least out of a 1 to 10, I'd give them an 8. That was pretty good on their part. They're doing really well so far. I'm hopeful for those two, Austin and Jessica. I haven't really, as of yet, seen what they're going to be able to do when it comes to conflict resolution. I'm looking forward to see if they're going to be as awkward as they were in the beginning when it comes to working out their conflicts and obstacles that arise once they move in together, because they really haven't had an opportunity to meet the real Austin and the real Jessica. These are the people who go to work every day and have to go ahead and go out there and kill the dragons and come in and handle all the business of just making a living. I'm waiting on both of them to meet the real Jessica and the real Austin. Now, I guess I will say this one thing. Austin is still saying, of course, he's on his honeymoon. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's saying he can see himself falling in love at this point. Well, I can see myself jumping over the moon too. But, he doesn't seem like he's made a choice on whether or not he's going to love this woman or not. It's like he's waiting on some feeling to tap him on the shoulder and tell him, it's okay, you can love her now. You either love her or not. make the decision. Commit to the woman or not, make the decision. Are you going to invest in a relationship or not? Make the decision. You don't wait for some feeling to tell you how to decide and when to decide. You make the decision and the feeling follows suit. That's how it works. All right. Now, let's go to, I think it's Derek and Katie. It's the same thing with those two. I'm a little leery of Katie. I think we're going to see some things. I think she's very immature. Just the way she talks, she's very immature. But I could be wrong. But based upon what I saw in the previews, some of the mishaps and some of the things that she's saying and her attitude in the relationship going forward, she's already talking about needing her space already. So I can just see she has a lot of masculine energy. That's the kind of stuff men are always crying about, getting their own space. So if she's got a lot of masculine energy and he has a lot of masculine energy, there is no complementarity with those two. They're going to be conflicting all the time. So, we'll see. We'll see. Now, with him, Derek is a nice guy, it appears. But what Derek said, again, there's another one of those statements. Derek says, he's never been in love. I don't think Derek really knows what love is anyway. Derek thinks it's a feeling. So he's waiting on some feeling he's never felt before in his life. Out of all the feelings he's experienced over his short time, he thinks there's another feeling that's going to knock him off his, knock him off his socks, if you will, or knock him out of his socks, and that's going to be considered the feeling called love. You see, and I don't know. I don't know what he's waiting on. I don't know. I guess he's going to do the same thing Austin's doing. He's waiting on somebody to tap him on the shoulder and say, hey, I'm the feeling of love. You can love her now. If that's what you're doing going in, like I said before, that boat is already on tilt. That relationship is already on tilt because you're going in screwed. You're going in wrong. All right. Now, we dealt with Mika. We dealt with Micah. We did Derek and we did Katie. We did Austin and we did Jessica. Now, I'm going to say the two best for last. I'm going to go ahead on and deal with my man Brandon and Taylor. Now, Taylor, young lady with the brains and the beauty, and she's got a pretty good even temperament. I'm not real big on the video and the videotaping and the picture taking on everything. I'm not real big on that, but I understand where I am. I understand I'm in the 21st century. I understand these are millennials and that's what they do. They like to take these pictures. They like to get that dopamine moving up, that reward that they get every time they take a picture. And they can say whatever they want to say. Right now, they just don't have a lot going on in their personal lives. So they're living vicariously through the lens and the video camera on their phones. In and of itself, that's not inherently evil. There's nothing wrong with it. So, but I will say, my boy Brandon, I'm not feeling you. Something ain't right about that brother. And case in point, I'm going to bring up 2 points and I'm going to move right on in and talk about Zach and Mindy. When Brandon got a little moody and he left the room because Taylor was doing some video, was taking some pictures, or the people in the room, he got tired of being videoed. And so he decided to leave and go downstairs. I think he was going to get a drink or something. He gets downstairs, gets it out of the elevator, and for some reason, he just puts his hand up and covers the lens of the camera, and he kept it there. And the man continued to tell him, bro, I'm just doing my job. I mean, you signed up for this. And nobody forced you to sign up for this. You must have, this show been on for 10 seasons. This is what happens. If you have a phobia or you have a vice or you have an issue, whatever you want to call it, with being photographed, with being followed, why would you put yourself through this voluntarily? Why would you consent to something like this? To me, that's mentity, that's mental. That is a real problem. That's a mentality issue. You know, when you hear me say the word mentity, we get that from a guy. He couldn't say the word mentality, so he said mentity. Been saying it ever since, right? It's funny. But anyway, when you're dealing with somebody that's a little mentity like that, I don't know. I mean, you take something and you create, you distort it, you blow it out of proportion. Looked like he was going to blow up, you know, over that. And his wife had to come in there and play referee. She's already playing referee. He can't deal with the real. I don't know anything about that. And then what was, you know, to add insult to injury with that brother, when they were leaving, he got all up in his feelings, left everything in the room for her to pack up, his phone, his passport, his wedding band, everything. Why he even took it off, or maybe he didn't put it on, I don't know. But he he gets in the van. I guess this is the van that's going to take him to the airport. He gets in the van. He's all in his feelings, all up in them, right? He's so angry and disjointed. Now, I recognize there's people like that. But again, I'm going to tell you something. I grew up in the hood. I ain't really trying to go back there. All right? I'm not trying to go back there. But if I go back there and I have some issues by being there, I don't need to be complaining because I consented. I did it on my own. And blaming everybody that came with me. I don't need to be taking it out on them because that's what he did. But see, this is what bothered me about him. Now, you don't know this girl, the woman you married. You have not known her more than 10 days. And you get angry. I've already seen this dude have at least 2 to 3 meltdowns. 2 to 3. Actually, 3. He had one in the elevator. He had one in the van. And he had one, I don't know if it was where they were sitting down. And well, actually, he was upset because in the bedroom, that's right, in the hotel room, she was videotaping and he had a meltdown. He was acting like a little diva all day. Okay? 3 meltdowns over a period of 6 days. Come on now. That's 50%. Somebody's got some issues here, right? But I'm gonna say this and move on because I don't want to keep going. He told his wife to boop her. He said, "F you, Taylor." I'm like, what? Now I know I'm old school, and I know the younger generation that might just be everyday vernacular, but you don't call your wife out of your name. I have never. Next year, I would have been married to my wife 40 years. Next year. I've been married to her 39 years. In 40 years, I have never called my wife the B word, and I have never called her any other name other than her own name or just a pet name. You know, but I've never cursed my wife, ever. I cherish her and respect her and honor her too much for that. And this dude went there. He gonna give you a reason, but it won't be no excuse. That's how I feel about it. He gonna give you a reason why he did it, but it won't be no excuse. As far as I'm concerned, if I was her dad, I say you need to kick this brother to the curb after the 8 weeks. Don't even go there with it. You need to get that dude the ring and run. All right, I don't really care, because if you can do that on TV and you already had 3 meltdowns, that's a wrap. I already see the red flags. He had behavioral and impulse problems. The personalities, both of y'all personalities don't even match. And your core values are not the same. Boom, that's a wrap. It's over. All right. And you haven't had sex with him, so that's even better. All right. Let me get on with these other guys here. Now, Zach and Mindy. Zach's upset because he can't figure out why this thing is so hard for him. He thinks that he should automatically, just because he got married on a TV show, that his feelings are gonna actually correspond with his actions immediately. They don't necessarily do that all the time. And the same thing kind of goes for Mindy. Mindy kind of thinks like, wow, we got married on TV, and he decided to marry someone he didn't know. I married someone I didn't know. Then he should be obligated to be attracted to me because this is what he signed up for, because I'm attracted to him. But see, the thing that she has to understand is that he doesn't know her, and she still really doesn't know him. She really don't know him either. And they, again, only known each other for 10 days. But from what I've seen, they spent their whole time talking about this issue of attraction. And see, I think that's really the way they define attraction. They define it too narrowly. There's more than one way to be attracted to someone. We know about sexual attraction, and I think that's all they think it's about. It's about sexual attraction. And because she even said at dinner time when they were eating, when he was trying to talk to her about the issue, and he was saying, I need a little help in this area. He's trying to be vulnerable. He says, I really don't know what to do about my desire or my attraction for you. Again, like I said, he assumes it's supposed to be there. Her expectation is the same, that it's supposed to be there. But again, I think what it should be, it shouldn't be there. I don't think neither one of them are really wrong. I don't think there's a wrong or right here. I think that this is a show. They don't know each other. I think they have to understand that they needed to go into this thing with the right attitude, low expectations. Don't have these high Disneyland princess, everything's going to end well perfectly. Everybody's going to love each other. No. You need to set your expectations based upon the knowledge that you glean from being in the relationship. They don't know each other. And so maybe some of the stuff that he put on the questionnaire, these things that he claims that are more important to him, and, a thing that ended up being a bombshell to me was that they didn't even say that they put them together based upon attraction. The bombshell is they put them together based upon core values. But the bombshell actually is they don't tell them that. And so they need to sit down and discuss their core values, because I think if they did a little bit more of that, if he spent a little bit more time talking about something other than the core, other than his physical attraction or lack thereof, I think they may be able to do some things. I think there's some simple things that they can do, because he did ask her what could he do. I think that upset her, and it makes sense, but it upset her that he had to ask her, what can he do so that he could be more attracted to her. that's kind of got to be a little hurtful. But if she just make up her mind, say, look, I don't know you. I haven't slept with you. I gave you a little peck. We sleep in the same bed, but I don't really know you. And have a different perspective and not be committed to the fact, okay, it's got to turn out because I'm married to you. I know there's a lot of pressure on her because she's got everybody, millions of people, her sister, her father, everybody's watching, and they already told her they thought it was a stupid move. And so now she's a little upset. And she, of course, she's going to be a little bit committed to this thing, but she can't change the guy. So she might as well say, look, mom, dad, whatever, whatever's in her head. Say, I took a risk at love. And when you take a risk at love, that's exactly what it is. You got to be vulnerable. You got to be willing to risk losing. And so I think that she should just tell him, just be straight up. If he's a masculine man, one of the ways to get a masculine man to be a little bit more affectionate, a little bit more attentive, you have to not give him anything per se, but ask him to start giving to you. Simple things, micro expressions of love. Things like, well, we're going to be together for the next 6 weeks or whatever, and this thing may or may not work out. Let's just negotiate how we're going to treat one another. You cherish me, I respect you. You cherish my feelings, I respect your leadership, and I respect your mind. And if you're good with that, and he goes, yes. I said, well, you asked me what I need. This is what I need for you to do. Make me some coffee every morning. Give me a hug every morning. Whatever, tell me what I need to do in order for you to give me what I need. That kind of thing, and that's how you negotiate with one another. Give him his space. You give me, and he'll give you your space. Do what you need to do. Treat each other with civility. I mean, there's other things you can do. I don't want to spend too much time. I didn't spend too much time as it is. So at the end of the day, I think that's what they're going to have to do. Otherwise, based upon what I've been seeing, Zach's going to blow it because he's fixated on this feelings thing like the other two brothers. And when men get fixated in their feelings, that's a recipe for disaster. That's my time. I thank you for yours. I'll catch you on the other side. God bless you.